Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sears. And as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike P. Waworski, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most here on The Rundown. Two-way views, conservative news, and Craig, guess what day it is?
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Who's ready?
Throw Punch Thursday, bitch.
Why does that always make me feel good? Every time I see it.
Because you love punching people in the throat.
I love punching people in the throat. I don't get to do it often enough, though. I mean, every once in a while, when I'm at Krav Maga and we're fighting, every once in a while I'll get a chance to punch somebody in the throat. But other than that, even then, it's with a padded glove on, so it doesn't really.
I thought maybe last night you might have got to do it when you were out there turning or lighting buses on fire and looting stores and causing riots and stuff when the Dodgers won. Because that, according to the news here, that's going on all throughout California.
Yeah, no, that's Los Angeles. Not any place else in California, and those are idiots, and I don't identify as one of those, and I don't identify as either a Dodger fan or a baseball fan. So, what's that? 5 strikes?
Yeah, I know you're one of those them boys guys.
Yeah, well, all of us have our cross to bear.
Yep.
We all have our faults.
Yeah, Craig's a Cowboys fan. Yeah. I must send him 5 to 10 videos or memes a day about how bad the Cowboys suck.
He does. I have to tell you, it's bordering on harassment. I thought about getting a restraining order against him, but then I don't get all the other funny memes.
Yeah, and honestly, if you tried to go in front of a judge with that, he would be like, "It's not harassment. It's true."
It's like he's trying to deprogram you. That's all.
The funniest ones, I think, by far, are the ones when it's got like going back in time, trying to convince myself not to be a Cowboys fan, and it's some guy standing there trying to get to a 4-year-old wearing a Dallas Cowboys jersey, going, "Don't do it, don't do it."
Yeah, see, that's the part of the challenge is that during probably the 2 most formative years, the Cowboys were actually good. So when in the 70s, when I'm a little kid, I'm learning Cowboys won a Super Bowl, right? Or they won 2 Super Bowls. So I'm like the formative years, and then in my young adulthood, I'm now an adult. I'm graduated from college, all that fun stuff, and Cowboys win 3 Super Bowls. And so I was solidified as a Cowboy fan, and then after that, it's just been all downhill.
You had Tom Landry and Roger Staubach, right, in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
And then in the 90s, you had Jimmy Johnson and the Cocaine Cowboys.
Yeah, well, Troy Aikman wasn't a cocaine cowboy.
They don't call him Lily White for nothing.
I didn't know they called him Lily White. There was a guy named Bob Lilly. And if we're being honest, the 1970s Cowboys were the cocaine Cowboys too. North Dallas 40.
Hey, that was a movie. That wasn't real.
I thought it was a biopic.
And they were the weed Cowboys. Just
I thought that was a documentary.
Could have been.
The names and faces have been changed to protect the innocent.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, at least I can say that we've never flown a BLM flag at Texas Stadium.
There you go. Yeah, listen, I've said it before. I do like Jerry Jones's position on all that. So that was very good. Yeah.
Very good stuff. So tell me, was your Wednesday successful? Were you able to successfully begin the weekend?
I may have been able to partake in one or two. The big question is, though, are you doing anything for Halloween today?
Yes, I am. I'm going as a sober person,
That's lame.
meaning it. No, it's just a costume.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah,
It's just
yeah,
a costume.
yeah.
Come on now.
Okay,
Anybody,
have fun with that.
that's one of the funs of trick or treating is, going door to door with the kids and you know, little flask of with the little extra something something for you.
It's a little something for dad. There you go, just like that. There
Exactly.
you go.
Kids get
That's
treats,
it.
dad gets treats.
That's it. That's it. It's not your kids that it's okay. I mean, sure, it's okay to hang out with your kids, but it's all we call them OPKs. You got to hang out with all the other OPKs.
There you go.
OPKs is other people's kids. Other
Yeah,
people's kids. Yeah,
if something happens to them, it's like, not my kids.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's OPK. Yeah.
Yeah, Halloween
Apparently
was
he's a white
always
one.
fun. Halloween has always been fun. I've always enjoyed it. Some people get all kind of caught up in it's the devil's holiday. And I'm like this. You take it for what it's worth and what it is and recognize what it is. And for years we did a play at our church called Oh Hell No, A Revelation of Hell, and that's how we spent Halloween, and it was fun because we got to scare people. Because people always want to do something scary on Halloween.
Yeah.
So we would
Oh,
do
yeah.
we would do this play where we would scare them, like for lack of a better term, we'd scare the hell out of them.
Hey, churches had the best haunted houses. Always
Yes.
did. Always did.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Because it's the only time at the church where you can, do the whole blood, guts, and gore and yada, yada, yada. But it's for Jesus.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey, speaking of churches,
Yes.
you know how to make holy water?
I'm almost scared to say, no, I do not know how to make. How do you make holy water other than to bless it?
You put a pot of water on the stove and you boil the hell out of it.
Dun, dun, tsh.
We got dad jokes. Come and get them.
We got dad jokes. Come and get them. Anybody? Cocaine jokes,
Yeah.
dad jokes, all the same, right? Right.
Yep.
Like this one.
Guess what day it is?
I hate it when I do that.
You
So
do a
like I
lot.
set one video and I thought I had set the other video and I really just wanted to do this.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you.
I can hear you just fine.
Now I got you. There you are. Something on that last screen. I think you had a switch in the wrong direction. Let's say welcome to our friends at Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Now you can buy AR barrels at any caliber, any length for your next AR rifle or pistol build. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind the enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters, get on out to Hog Holsters. That's HAWG holsters.com, hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. That's all one word, no spaces, all caps. Get yourself a nice little discount. And a happy birthday out there to the proprietor there at Hog Holsters. And if you want the best field gear, tactical gear, web gear, you get everything you want except the gun at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. There we go.
There you go.
Folks, I jalapies. Anyway, these are our sponsors. They bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. Do us a favor, do them a favor, do yourself a favor, do us all a favor. Visit them. All you got to do is follow the links in the description to this program. That's where you'll find links to their websites. Go there, spend some money, and tell them the guys over at The Rundown sent you. All right, let's get into today's stories. Dun, dun, dun. First.
Down, Craig.
I know. You know what? The
There
sad
you
worst
go.
part is, Mike, it's all me. It is literally just all me, all my mistakes. I can't even blame the technology. That's how bad it is. Normally, I got to blame somebody. You know, I even have a white guy on the show so that I can blame him, and I can't even blame him for that.
I get the excuse though. I could just pull the white privilege card and be like, I had a minority set up my board. That's the problem. You know?
I had one of those people set up my board. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that. You said that.
Okay. All right. You know we're having fun, guys. You know we're having fun. Well, we all know that Democrats cheat, and one of the ways in which they cheat, well, let's just be real. They take money from foreign countries. We know this. Obama did it. We know that Clinton did it, right? And now ActBlue, which is a Democrat super PAC, well, they're under investigation for, guess what? Taking money or funneling money or laundering money, however you want to put it. But they doing business with the folks with some of our biggest enemies. Here says here, House Republicans subpoena ActBlue. Are they funneling donations from Russia, Iran, and China? Without reading the article, and I already read it, but I can tell you this, I'm pretty sure this is a solid yes. Anyway, it says here the Kamala Harris campaign has collected over $1 billion in fundraising, with a significant portion coming through the Democrat fundraising platform ActBlue. But what if much of that cash was delivered by foreign countries such as Iran, Russia, China, and Venezuela? House Republicans want to know, and on Wednesday they subpoenaed the outfit and demanded documents for more information. And here's a quote. It says here, Committee on House Administration Affairs, Brian Steele, anyway, on Wednesday issued a subpoena for ActBlue, a popular Democrat fundraising platform that has collected record donations for the Harris campaign. The subpoena concerns the platform's potential use to influence U.S. elections through illicit money laundering, according to a press release. Steele gave the platform until November 6th to respond. Obviously, this will not affect the current election, but there will be future votes that we need to protect. Quote, we cannot allow foreign actors to influence our elections through campaign financing. The committee's investigation uncovered that foreign actors might be taking advantage of ActBlue's inadequate security protocols, Steele said in the release. To ensure that foreign money is not laundered through ActBlue, we are requesting a series of documents and communications related to their donor security and verification policies. Preventing foreign interference in U.S. elections has been my top priority as chairman, and this is the next step in our investigation. It is crucial to achieving that goal, he added. Now, Mike, the funny part about that is, as I was reading about their lax verification, I was winking, because we all know that if there is lax verification in terms of the information or where they're coming from or the origins of the money, we know that lax verification is not an accident.
Hey, Craig, if you don't need an ID to vote, why do I need an ID to send you money? You know, they could just send it to you and it'd be all right. They don't care. Just want your money. They just want your money. They're going to take it. And folks, it's coming from those places, like Craig said. This is coming from China. This is coming from Iran. This is coming from all the bad places around the world, trying to buy influence with the current administration, trying to get them to remain the current administration so they continue to take advantage of the United States. Like, I don't know, what's Korea doing on the border in the Ukraine this week? Oh, what? My Korean soldiers in the Ukraine, getting ready to go into Ukraine. Who saw that?
Oh, they're not getting ready. They're in Ukraine and they're actually fighting. But, Mike, there are a lot of people who look at Republicans and say, oh, well, you're just anti-technology. No, we're not anti-technology, but we're recognizing how Democrats are utilizing technology to cheat. And that's exactly what's going on here. And what'll happen is they will find that foreign money made its way into Democratic campaigns. and they will say no one will get prosecuted because they'll say, well, you know, it was because of lax protocols, yada, yada, yada. But by then, the damage will have been done. Now, mind you, I don't think it's going to make a difference. I still believe Donald Trump is going to win. I mean, I don't care how much money you give Kamala Harris. You can only put so much lipstick on a pig. It's still going to be a pig. And you can only put so much makeup on a circus clown, and she's still going to be a clown.
You know, it's right now, Craig. It's just Donald Trump's assured victory if they just keep putting Kamala in front of the cameras this week. Every time she opens her mouth, it's embarrassing.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was thinking, for the longest time I was thinking, look, there's no way that they can get away with not putting her out there. She's got to face the media. She's got to face the people. And now I'm realizing that probably the best tactic for her would have been to do the Biden thing and hide in the basement. And because could it really be any worse than it's actually been? I mean, the more people hear from her, the more they dislike her.
I'm saying that's what they should have done. They should have locked her away, and I believe she'd be doing much better than she's doing right now.
I mean, come on, man. Think about this, man. $1 billion. $1 billion.
Yeah.
And she's still going to lose.
She's gonna lose. Just keep going to vote, folks.
Make sure you vote. Look, I want to stress this. Look, and no, we're not objective media, not in the slightest. Don't think that just because things are looking good that it's a given that Donald Trump is going to win. Trust me, if it's close, they will cheat. They're going to try and cheat even if it's not close, but they're definitely going to try and cheat if it's close. So don't let it be close. Matter of fact, Donald Trump should win the popular vote. Let's make it clear. Because I'll be real with you. If Donald Trump wins the popular vote, this is a landslide election. Right? And when I say landslide, I'm not just talking 300 electoral votes. I'm talking over 310, maybe even over 320. I'm talking about a complete arse kicking. And that's what needs to happen it's not because of Kamala Harris. It's because the Democrats have failed us at every turn. They've lied at every turn, and they need to be held accountable for that. They do. You know, I'm all for tear down our. When I say they are trying to win the democratic process, they still believe in debate to have a word. They don't want us to be able to say anything, right? They don't want the truth to get out. They're the Marxists. They're just go read the Communist Manifesto and then go read Rules for Radicals, and you will see that everything the Democrats are doing now is right out of the neo-Marxist or the Marxist, now neo-Marxist playbook. No difference. There's absolutely no difference. For example, one of the things that they talk a lot about is they talk about accuse your enemy of doing what you are actually doing, right? And one of the things that they're doing is this war on women, right? You literally have the Democrats and the Democratic Party pushing this war on women, where basically, you know, I don't know if you've seen the campaign ad, Mike, but there's this campaign ad out there where it's like two Republican women or two women, right? And their husbands are clearly Republican, and they're looking at each other, and Julia Roberts is doing a voiceover for the commercial, and she's basically saying, your pastor's not going to be in the voting booth with you. You can vote your conscience. And you have the woman there voting for Kamala Harris. Like, you know, like if our wives don't vote for the Republican, you know, we're going to beat them or something like that. You know, you've even got guys like Mark Cuban out there saying, well, you know, strong women would never be out there in support of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it'll put her over the edge with Nikki Haley supporters. Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them. And, you know, Nikki Haley will call him on his nonsense with reproductive rights and how he sees and treats and talks about women. I mean, he just can't have her around. It wouldn't work.
I think Stormy is intelligent. I don't think that's 100%. She's very smart. Yeah, Stormy.
He means is like,
he means on stage and stuff.
So he's catching a lot of flack, in particular from strong women, about these particular comments. I'll read a little bit of this story here out of the New York Post. It says, "Hell hath no fury like a strong, intelligent Republican woman scorned. It's a lesson billionaire Mark Cuban learned the hard way when he emphatically stated on The View that former President Donald Trump is never around any strong and intelligent women, bringing prominent GOP women out of the woodwork to put him in his place. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them. Nikki Haley will call him on his nonsense with reproductive rights and how he sees and treats and talks about women. I mean, he just can't have her around. It wouldn't work," Cuban said on the show on Thursday. His bumbling remarks come one day after President Trump, after Biden wrote off Trump supporters as garbage, the double-barrel insults to from the two Harris supporters coming less than a week before Election Day. And you can see here we got comments from Representative Stefanik, we've got representative from Kayleigh McInerney, we've got some from Tommy Loren, we've got Marjorie Taylor Greene, Riley Gaines. I'm still waiting. The one I really want to see, I want to see what Governor Huckabee has to say, because I'm sure she has a lot to say about stuff like this. But it just goes to show you, Mike, they don't understand people. It's like, okay, we're gonna tell men if you don't vote for Kamala, well then you're sexist. We're gonna tell women, if you don't vote for Kamala, or if you don't vote against Donald Trump, well, then you're weak. We're going to tell black men that you're a sellout. I mean, it's like all these people who are considering not voting for their candidate, they insult, and then they're surprised when they turn around and don't vote for their candidate.
Yeah, Craig, it's their method for dealing with anything Trump says is lie, deny, make counter accusations. That's all they're going to do. And they are at the final point. They are in the death throes is what they're doing. They've already thrown the kitchen sink, Craig. So now they're pulling down the walls. They're taking out the toilets. They're throwing everything they can. Just pick it up. Throw it in there.
It's funny you said that because I recognize that tactic. I still remember one time I so destroyed an anti-gunners bill that all he could say in his closing argument is, "They're killing kids."
Yeah. But listen, nobody should be taking Mark Cuban seriously, by the way. This is a guy who was one of Donald Trump's friends until he said he was a Republican and running for president. He's another one of that group.
Yeah, have you seen? It's kind of funny because that was one of the things that Joe Rogan opened up his interview as was talking about. He didn't want to play the clip. But he was like, he literally started it off with, how they loved Donald Trump when he first came out, but then found out, well, wait a minute, he's not just running as a Republican, he's actually advocating for Republican values. All of a sudden, they started hating him. It's like, oh wait, we thought we had a Trojan horse. That's what it was. They thought they had a Trojan horse because before running for president, he spent a bunch of time hanging around a bunch of New York liberals. And, he did his thing because, he's a businessman. That's what you do in New York. You hang out with the liberals. You hang out with the Jesse Jacksons and the Schumers and the Pelosi. You hang out with all of them.
Although there's not that many as you think there are in New York. I mean, I understand what the polls say, but, maybe take a look over at Madison Square Garden and see what happened over there a couple days ago.
Well, yes. I will tell you that there are a lot more Republicans. I think New York City in particular, the problem is that just happen to be drastically outnumbered by liberals. And what's funny is the conservatives generally tend to be a lot more conservative because they see or they've had to live with the failings of liberal policies. They don't just like know it by theory. They've lived it. And they know how bad it is. Kind of like when people come here from Cuba or from China or from North Korea or from the Soviet Union. They've lived under communism. They've lived under despots and tyrants, and they don't want to go back.
What a country.
What a country.
That's it. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's basically, and it by the way, just so you guys know, their war on women is basically, well, all of you women, all you think about is how you can kill your babies, right? That's the only issue that's important to you, right? You don't care about the economy. They don't believe that women care about the economy. You don't care about the border or public safety. All you care about is the right to end the life of your child in the womb. That's it. That's all you care about.
And to lie about how they're going to be killed if they can't kill their baby.
Exactly, how they're going to die. I'm still trying to figure out, Mike, because you have the abortion industry, you have Planned Parenthood talking about what a small percentage of their budget and their resources, a small percentage of the things they do are abortions, right? But yet, in states that had put in place abortion restrictions, they're like, oh, well, we got to close down now. We can't afford to stay open because we can't afford to kill babies. Wait a minute. Wait, what? I thought that was a small part of what you did. I thought you provided women's health services. You can keep doing that.
We just hand out alternative flyers. That's all we do. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you gotta do. You just don't get to kill babies no more. Not a hard thing to figure out, right? Right.
I think that's where they get their power and their strength from.
There you go. There you go. All right, moving right along. We all know that this time exists because, well, as Republicans, we had to experience it. It's the 76 days after the election. That's the days between... That's the days after the election, I believe leading up to the inauguration, not the certification, but the actual inauguration. Because when Donald Trump first got elected back in 2016, there were riots all across the country, in Los Angeles, in Philadelphia, in Washington, D.C., in Portland, and in Oakland, in New York. I mean, not in New York, in Washington, D.C. There were literally all out and outright riots. And then in 2020, we had the fight over election integrity, and 76 days was not nearly enough. But because we never really got to fully vet and have information and discussions about all that went on during the election in order to verify that election was in fact a valid one. All that having been said, there's a piece right now over at The Hill that I thought was very interesting, dealing with and talking about the dangerous 17 days between the election and the inauguration. I want to read a little bit from
76.
I'm sorry, 76 days. I want to read a little bit of it here. It says here, the most dangerous period America faces in terms of election violence is not now through Election Day, but in the 76 days between Election Day on November 5th and the inauguration on January 20th. According to the logic of some, desperate times justify desperate measures. Many Americans vow they will not accept the results of this election if their candidate loses. A significant number believe violence is warranted to save the country. Threats of violence against public officials at all levels have increased. So have acts of domestic political violence. This will not suddenly end on Election Day, no matter the outcome. Instead, the danger level may rise on November 5th when the polls close and the counting begins. Predictably, suspicions that voting has been unfairly suppressed or that counting is rigged will intensify. Rumors and fake news will flood social media, with some posts undoubtedly the product of agents of foreign governments trying to foment discord and chaos. There could be delays in the count, challenges, recounts, disputes, and litigation. Battle lines may sharpen as the contest proceeds to certification by the states and then by January 6th. Now, here's the thing I'm going to say. There's a lot of things here. I appreciate that, at least in the part that I read, right there, that he showed that there are issues and there are concerns on both sides, right? My only thing is, and I'll just say this, I don't believe that there will be violence on the right unless there is clear and present evidence of cheating. I'm sorry. And the government ignoring that cheating. I mean, when I say evidence, I mean clear evidence. Because here's the thing. If there was one thing that happened between 2020 and now, is there have been a lot of things put in place. Well, first of all, let's be real. If people are going to cheat, they're still going to try and cheat. But there have been things put in place that will allow people to see what is going on and hold people accountable for it. I do not believe, however, the same can be said for the left.
I like how they preface this whole story with, if you see stories about voter fraud, it's fake news. It's fake news. They're already prefacing it as fake news. So when they find tubs of ballots underneath a table when the water main breaks inside the accounting area, it's fake news. Don't believe it. It's fake news. It's CGI.
Well, you know what? Here's what gets me is, like, once again, I mentioned Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is a guy who has said Donald Trump lost. He doesn't believe in a lot of the voter integrity or the a lot of the stuff, the claims that Trump made regarding the machines and all. He doesn't believe that, or fake ballots. He doesn't believe any of that is real. But he does believe that between the media and the alphabet agencies and tech companies, that steps were taken that actually did cause it, right? Changes in laws that actually happened, right? To push mail-in balloting. But because he said that, they have still tried to accuse him of promoting misinformation or disinformation. And what's funny about it is, and I was watching the show this morning, he literally read from the report that he read from when he did that particular show, and the report came from NBC News. But nobody accused NBC News of misinformation or disinformation. See, the thing is they want to silence us. When people start talking about, and I've been to some of these forums and I hear them talk about misinformation and disinformation, and they claim that they're talking about, well, you know, the fake video or the fake audio thing that might have, you know, Kamala Harris saying something that she never really said. That's not what they're worried about. They're worried about information getting out that the mainstream media refuses to report on because it makes Democrats look bad, or it exposes the fact that they've cheated. They're completely ignoring this stuff. They don't want that information to get out, and because, well, for two reasons. Number one, they want liberals to win, and number two, it makes them look bad because they didn't do their job.
Yeah, very, very true. And listen, they are the same. The Democrats and the liberal media are the same. They're all liberal left. That's what they are. Working to, they're in cahoots is what they're doing, trying to sway your vote. Because if Donald Trump gets in office, there's a story today. If Donald Trump gets in office, the mainstream media ceases to exist as we know it.
Oh, yeah. No, well, I don't know if it ceases to exist as we know it, but I think you're going to see some changes. You're going to see, in particular, you're going to see tech companies are going to be held accountable. The Section 230 is no longer going to protect them as they seek to, just do a search, right? I tell you, do a search. Go to open up your browser right now and do a search for, Trump's closing arguments, or Trump makes closing case, and write the exact same thing, except write Harris makes closing arguments. And I guarantee you that the outcomes of those searches will not be equal. They will not be the same. And that's because they have written the algorithms to suppress anything good. Anything Republican is bad, and anything that promotes Democrats is good. Anything that slams Republicans is good. Anything that slams Democrats is bad. And that's the avenue, that's the direction that they're taking.
That's it. That's how they're doing it.
One thing, though, that's interesting, and it's kind of funny because I'll tell you this. I've always believed that when you know you have good information, you have all the data, The numbers do not lie. And when CNN's data guru is telling you, yeah, it's looking like Trump's going to win, don't be surprised, then you know you should not be surprised.
Big Republican Party registration gains versus from where they were 4 years ago. So Republicans are putting more Republicans in the electorate. The Democratic number versus the Republican number has shrunk. And so the bottom line is, if Republicans win, come next week, Donald Trump comes next week, the signs all along will have been obvious. We would look at the right direction being very low, Joe Biden's approval rating being very low, and Republicans really registering numbers. You can't say you weren't warned.
I say that to folks to say, people are like, well, how can you say for sure? How do you know for sure? Well, because, see, first of all, I'm not just looking at the polling, right? When I look at the polling, I'm looking at history, and history tells me that Trump always, Republicans in general underpoll, Trump especially underpolls. Trump has to be down by more than 3 points for me to believe that Trump is actually down somewhere. I'm sorry. It may not be fair for anyone, but number one, there's that. Then there's the whole issue of the other factors, right direction, right direction is at an all-time low. We're talking less than 28%, almost a quarter of Americans, only about a quarter of Americans believe that the country's headed in the right direction. And whenever it's that low, but just to be real, it's never been that low. Whenever it's below 40%, the party that is out of power the party that is out of power wins. The party that is in power loses. So, and then you look at just the changes in the numbers. You have people who are re-registering. Now, I will say this. I think in states like Arizona and Nevada, I think those are California Republicans. I think those are former Californians who happen to be Republicans who have relocated to America. But the numbers are changing, and the numbers are changing in the right direction. I mean correct direction and in the Republican direction. So just so y'all know, even CNN's data guru is like, yeah, I'd be betting on I'd be betting on Donald Trump.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, and Craig, we'll take those California Republicans going to Arizona. That's another 11 electoral college votes. We'll take them.
Yes, we most definitely will take them. Hands down. Got no issues with that. All right, folks. Well, that now brings us to our parting shots. Parting shots are brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. All caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. Our parting shot today is going to be brought to you by the Babylon Bee. Fake news that you can count on. And it's another list. And you know how we love deliciouses. Anyway, this is Are You Garbage? You need to know the signs. All right, sign number one that you are garbage as identified by Joe Biden. Number one, you have fewer than 11 COVID booster shots. Wow, you're literally, metaphorically, ecumenically, grammatically, spiritually, inconceivably trash. Ooh, there you go.
Yes, you are.
Okay, let's see. You never burned an American flag. Okay, I've never burned an American flag. That must definitely make me trash. You do this weird thing where you pay for merchandise before leaving the store with it.
What?
Meaning you don't loot or shoplift. You do this. Oh, no, we already read that one. Here we go. Number 4. You don't try to load a shotgun through its butt during a photo op. Ooh, that's a shot at our good friend, Mr. Walls. Your wife doesn't have a boyfriend. Okay, that's a funny one. Your husband doesn't have a boyfriend.
Yep.
You came to life when radioactive ooze was dumped on an old bag of garbage, and you crawled your way out of the dumpster, and you are now determined to kill whoever made you a terrible reality. Okay, I don't get that one, but all right, I'll leave that one for y'all. You don't have pronouns listed in your email signature, then I'm definitely garbage. Oh, you're not a well. If you're not a Cowboy fan, you are definitely garbage.
There you go.
You don't want to subsidize someone else's gender studies degree. Yeah. You think Ring of Power is an abomination. You follow the laws, pay your taxes, provide your family. You provide for your family, contribute to society, and go to church. All of those qualify you this day as garbage.
Garbage is garbage does.
Garbage is garbage. That sounds like being a conservative makes you garbage in their eyes.
Yep. You're a deplorable piece.
Deplorable. Let's see, now them's is fighting words. Now I'm deplorable.
Yep.
Fine. All right, folks. Well, that's about it for today. But before we go, let's finalize the program with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Hitman Industries, hitmanindustries.net. Now you can buy AR barrels, pistol, and rifle caliber, any length you desire for your next AR rifle or platform build. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you could take part in California's future today. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, outdoor gear, whatever it may be, you can get everything except the gun at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. Those are our sponsors. Please visit them and let them know that the guys over at The Rundown sent you. And with that, we're going to call it a day. We will be back tomorrow on Friday. We're going to have a good time tomorrow. Hope you will join us. Friday's always fun. I love Friday, even though it's not Halloween. By the way, y'all have a fun and have a very safe Halloween evening. Once again, we'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday.